Welcome to the Marvelous Donahues. If you don't already know, my name is Kathy.
I'm Tom. How y'all doing?
Good. Look me answering for you, everybody in the audience. I'm sorry.
Fine. How you doing? Great.
Okay. I'm sorry. And if you're just finding this show, what I want to tell you too, we're new at this, so we're just gonna be ourselves. We do have some notes from the movie, but that's about it. We don't have a script. We don't have an editor.
That's right. We're not going to show any secret clips of the TV show. So
No,
if
no.
you're waiting for secret clips, we don't have any.
We're just gonna talk about it.
I did to celebrate Loki though. Tom Hiddleston. I did grow my hair out, and I've got the Loki look a little bit. So
I know with our last video, if you see it, you're gonna be like, "Where did hair come from?"
it's not a wig. It's real.
It's real.
Ow.
But he had it in a ponytail last time. In our intro, those pictures are from before quarantine, okay? This here is after. But welcome to the show, everybody. We watched the first episode, like we said last week in our intro, and oh my goodness, it's heady. I didn't think it was gonna be that heavy.
It is. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I did. I really, as a licensed social worker, and just the emotion in it, I wasn't expecting it to be that emotional.
I started feeling bad for Loki at the end because he was like he had no idea what was going on.
Right. He had no idea. So you know what? What I want to talk about is just the beginning. I felt like, or I didn't know that they were going to like cut in those shots from the Avenger movie and him disappearing.
Right.
So Tom and I have this theory. It's more of his theory than mine. But you know, we see things differently. We're two different people. And it's all about the TVA timeline. That thing, it's a little confusing, y'all. So if you have a theory and you know what they're talking about because you didn't read the comic books, you know, let us know. So my theory with the timeline and where Loki is now from watching it, I think that once Loki jumped out of one dimension, he was replaced by somebody else, and then I was thinking too, when Owen Wilson was talking, right? Remember in the elevator? No, them buttons was weird.
They were.
That was weird.
I mean, the thing I liked about it was weird because these guys are like the head of the universe. But what's up with their building? It's like look like 60s or 70s, like I don't know, the Supremes or Frankie Valley or somebody lived there.
Listen, I was expecting to look down, or some of those scenes they showed shag carpet or something. I was expecting to see that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh.
It was very, very retro.
It was techie, but it wasn't techie. It seemed retro.
Yeah, retro, like old tech. And so I believe, let me get back to my theory. I'm getting off. I'm getting off. But I believe that, oh my gosh. So Owen Wilson said that the timeline, you know, things are different at the TVA.
Right, that's right.
Time runs differently. So this is what I'm thinking. I don't want to spoil the ending, so I'm going to hold it. No, I'm talking about the very ending, episode 6, because I always guess things. Yeah. You know I do.
Yeah.
I like to guess things.
I'll wait with you till episode 6.
Right, so I won't spoil it.
That's right.
But what I will say, and fix my glasses. What I will say is that I believe that a little bit of maybe Loki was replaced in the other timeline until they can get him back, or because he's gonna, first they was talking about we're gonna, disintegrate him or whatever. So I'm like, well, if they disintegrate him, what happens in the other timelines?
Right.
We know all those things
Yeah,
happen.
it looked like, it sounded like, because you kind of have to watch. You have to watch the show a couple times. You can't just like watch it once and be like, "Oh, I got everything." Because when I first watched it, I thought he disappeared at the Battle of New York in 2012, and somehow he didn't like. I thought he didn't show back up until he was fighting Thanos in like Infinity War, but that's not really true because he was in other movies. You saw him in other things.
Right.
So then at the end, or during the episode, he's like, "Gosh, I don't know any of this stuff."
Right.
Like that little ViewMaster slide projector he's looking at, and that killed me too. It was like, see, it's weird because the TVA is like Big Brother. It's like there's a cosmic force that's watching over everybody. That's actually, and this is a question I have for everybody: do you think it's predestination? Do you think people are predestined to live a certain way, and if you don't, then the TVA cops come after you?
I don't think so. I felt like if you became a variant and jumped off of the timeline, okay, and on this too is like crazy. You ever seen, it was a movie called Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow. There was quick story. Gwyneth Paltrow made this movie. I don't know if a lot of people seen it or not, but it was called Sliding Glass Doors or Sliding Doors, where she missed her metro in one timeline, and then she got on it in another. So these two variants happened.
Yeah.
These two different things. And that's what I'm thinking about with Loki, because he grabbed that thing, he messed up the time-space continuum. Right. Now I'm mixing with Star Trek or something here. But that's what I'm thinking.
We're not beaming up to the Enterprise, all right? No. Scotty's not here.
Oh, you know what else I thought that was funny? You guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure my glasses don't get the ring.
She's just so excited her glasses are going.
I'm like, yes. But what about, I'm looking down because I wrote, I told you I had some notes. That little gentleman that was like, you could be a robot, a test that you're not a robot, and then after he stepped through, he took a picture and called it his temporal aura. So all this time, right, that Loki's been this bad person, and without a soul or whatever, but we see glimpses of it in other movies because he wants, he wants to be a ruler, he wants to be a king or whatever. So they're showing that there's something there. So
I feel like I feel about Loki. I'll just be really honest with you. I feel that he realized he really wasn't Asgardian. And he was angry, and in other movies and other scenarios he was mad and angry, and he said in this episode, I'm the god of mischief. And I feel like he has a hole in his heart that he couldn't be filled with just being a sweet loving person. He loved his mom. Felt like he loved his dad,
right?
I
think he wanted.
He loved Thor.
He did.
I felt like he was fighting for respect. So if you guys have any thoughts about that, tell us what you think. Some of the things I looked at was, the Tesseract and the Infinity Stones, and this is strange because two things. Number one, the Tesseract and the Infinity Stones in this episode, they've got no meaning. They're baubles. It's almost like the timekeepers. It's almost like the timekeepers give them power in another realm, or is it that the Infinity Stones and the Tesseract in another timeline have power in and of themselves, and in TVA land, I guess you call it, they're worthless. Probably said it's not kind of the same thing, but if you think about it, they're talking about they were talking about trust in the show. He and Owen Wilson. I don't know what you guys think, but when I first saw the trailers for this thing, I thought, Owen Wilson, really?
Yeah.
But I really liked Owen Wilson in this.
Right.
I really thought he was like, it's kind of like that sheriff's deputy, going through time, trying to find variants. But they talked about, the only person you can trust is yourself. And then they said something about you can trust dogs and children.
I think that's what Owen Wilson said.
Yeah.
I felt like, as far as Owen Wilson's character, when they went into that room, and I wrote down here that Loki said, "This looks like a killing me kind of room," and it was the lighting, the 2 seats, the old-fashioned tape recorder like thing. Let me tell you guys something. And when I watched this a second time, and I'm not gonna tell y'all my age, but I remember something similar like that. I think my older sister had a radio or a tape recorder or something that was in that ball shape when we were younger. But just the FBI sort of interrogation, I'm gonna turn you on my side by telling you your weaknesses or whatever.
Right.
I felt like that was classic FBI. I need to flip this guy so he can be on my side, because he went to break him down and build him up and say, you need to be, on my side, to get him to humanize. He was like, oh, you're this and, you're that. Tell me, when I even wrote down something where he said, oh, I'm something. He was like, let me see. What did he say? He said, when he took out the guy's eyeballs, he said, Owen Wilson, he had all these flippant comments. Oh, yeah, you're the Lord had taken out eyeballs or something. And I was just thinking that back and forth of breaking him down was to try to get him to see things differently and eventually win him over to their side. But going back to what Tom said right quick, how we always talk about things being in the Matrix, right? And this TVA to me was a classic, you're in the Matrix, we're in control.
Right.
What you see as valuable is nothing to us.
Right.
Because the kid's like, Loki looks in the drawer and he's like, oh, this Tesseract is, oh, I'm all powerful, I have it now. And he looks down and there are all the Infinity Stones. And the kid's like, we got tons of these. We use them as paperweights. It was like a light switched on and he was like, okay, what's going on here? Why is this way? But before I get off track, I want to go back to the sister that came after him. And I said, wait, look at her, the sister soldier. She stepped in that thing and was like, listen, Loki's like, I'm not going to play these games anymore. And she was like, bop. I'm sorry, time moves slower here. Let me just put this collar on you and take you with us. And that, in essence, was the beginning of breaking him down and letting him know you're not in charge of anything.
That's right. And what we are, and that brings up the logical question, or important question for anybody's life. What do we really have control of?
Yeah.
And are we really, do we have power? Are we really in charge of anything? And this is what I kind of took from it. And I remember Owen Wilson was like, one of the scenes, he's like, what makes Loki click? He says, what makes Loki click? And then, I go back to the title of the episode, The Glorious Purpose. What is Loki's glorious purpose? And, he was saying, in the episode, I want to be the king of Earth, or the king of space, the king of Asgard, Midgard. It's like, is that his glorious purpose? Is a glorious purpose to help TVA find him as a variant? Which came up as like, this is his little mission now. Or is it something else? And that's I'll be interested to see how that unfolds in future episodes, because it's what is his glorious purpose? Or is that like an illusion? Is that like, well, he thought the Tesseract was, meaningful.
Right.
He thought about the Infinity Stones were meaningful.
Right.
Maybe his glorious purpose isn't so meaningful,
Right. And I guess my ending to this would be that, sometimes when you think that things are a certain way, that you have control over things, and you don't. I think that it was kind of like a Matrix moment for him.
It was.
That he went through something. He thought, well, all this time, I'm going to get this, I'm going to do that, and he didn't. Yeah. I also want to talk about just the emotion of him having to watch his mom die, and
saw his own death.
Yeah, saw his own death.
And he didn't. But you know what? It's weird. Think about this. The Loki we saw in the episode, he didn't live that.
Right.
He didn't live that death.
Right. He didn't.
He didn't live the killing of his mom.
Right.
He didn't live the death.
Right.
He didn't. It's like if you watched a videotape of your life and you saw you doing all this stuff, and you're like, well, I didn't do any of that stuff.
Right. Exactly.
Or maybe you did.
Right.
See, that's where the psychological stuff comes in. Like, oh, would you like that kind of? Woo. Anyway, but that's the cycle. That was my psychological.
Yeah, I liked it. It was, Tom, you're right. It was heady. It was a lot more heady than I thought it was. It made you think about things. It had a Matrix kind of moment.
Yeah.
Where he was pulled out of the Matrix into the TVA. But my thing is, and I'm going to end with this because we don't want to go, forever. But I want, I want to know the TVA's purpose.
Right.
Are they the good guys or the bad guys?
That's a good point.
Really, we may be thinking one thing, but really what's absolutely what is going on. Are the lizards still in charge?
Maybe they're all, look at this, maybe they're all Hydra.
Oh, gosh, Tom. Okay, we're going to end with that.
I don't know.
So, you guys like and subscribe if you want to. Come join us while we
join us on our journey, because we want to hear what your all's thoughts. We throw a lot of thought-provoking questions out, but we want to hear what your all's thoughts are, and drop us a note and let us know. And we'll be back. We'll be back next week to cover episode 2.
Episode 2.
Ooh, I can't wait. I'm gonna have to get some rest before then. That's a lot of excitement there. So.
And we will see you guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of thing. We're just gonna be giving you real content and talking about what's happening with Marvel.
That's right.
And throwing in, like we said before, a few other shows that we may like. But see you, and we will sign off with bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care, guys.
Oh, wait. We can't say that. Okay, listen. Last week we asked you guys to give us a name of what we can call our followers. And I thought we're walking down the street. I thought of Marvel Heads.
I like it.
I like it too.
We're going to call you Marvel. We'll call everybody who's watching the channel, we'll call you all Marvel Heads, because not Marble Heads, but Marvel. We don't want you to think. We don't want you to think we're insulting you. Okay.
When I first said it, he was like, "Why would we call them Marble Heads?" I said
Marvel
Heads.
Okay. So there you go. So Marvel Heads, and because you like Marvel.
That's right.
Which we hope that's why you're here. So anyway, so until next time, Marvel Heads.
We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.